Okay, I'm back. Okay, this is Bumper Boy Sports. Like I said, we dissect and we critically analyze. Okay, the whole point of this training is to get the big picture and to weigh both sides of the equation. There's a yin and a yang, and there's pros and cons. Like when Jordan played, he played in the man-to-man era. Okay, that means that the defender had to be within arm's length of the player. There was no zones, there was no rotating defenses. Okay, you had to stay man-to-man. That's why I always point out to Michael Jordan's matchups. Okay, it was very important about Michael Jordan's matchups. Okay, in today's game, you have zones. You can throw 2 or 3 players at Kobe Bryant. Okay, so his propaganda is just absolutely ridiculous. You can throw 2 or 3 players at Kobe Bryant and no illegal defense will be called today. Okay, Bruce Blitz does not point that out. Okay, case in point. Okay, here's case in point with the Jordan era. Okay, like I said. Okay, you can take this back. You take this back. All right. Okay, the ball comes to the top of the court, right? Okay, the ball gets rotated over here. Okay, these 4 offensive players can come all the way over to this side of the court. All right, that means the defender has to follow the offensive player all the way over here to this side of the court with an arm's length. Okay, that was the rules when Jordan played. That would leave Jordan isolated with some cupcake like Craig Elo, Trent Tucker, 6'3" Byron Scott, 6'3" Jeff Hornacek, 6'2" Vinnie Johnson, 6'3" Joe Dumars, and whoever. Okay, so when Jordan drives to the hole, okay, these defenders have to rotate all the way over from this side of the court to defend Jordan. Okay, and there was only a certain point in time to where they can leave their man to defend Jordan from the ball. So Jordan had a complete advantage in the man-to-man era. Now in today, okay, there is no clear-outs today, okay, because there's no illegal defense. So that means when the ball's on this side of the court, all these defenders can stay on this side of the court and defend the ball. They can defend this area. There is no illegal defense in today's game. So Kobe Bryant, even though his opponent can't hand check him, he still has to deal with 2 or 3 players, and there are no clear-outs, there are no easy baskets, there are no one-on-one situations for Kobe Bryant. So all this stuff that they're talking about is a bunch of ridiculous. What Bruce Blitz is talking about is a bunch of propaganda. That's why Phil Jackson runs the triangle, to create spacing so players like Kobe Bryant can have a one-on-one advantage against these other defenses, which Bruce Blitz apparently doesn't even want to point out. Okay, see, here's Bruce Blitz and his propaganda. Okay, here we go.
They would camp out in the lane. They would stay close to arm's length away from the guy they're defending. And then Michael Jordan's coming to the rim. They're already there.
Okay, that's some complete propaganda, fellas. That's propaganda. See, here you go right here. The NBA Board of Governors, okay, a representative from each of the 29 teams will vote today whether to eliminate the illegal defense rule next season, thus allowing teams to use any defense, including the zone, to win approval. 20 votes are needed. In a straw poll 2 weeks ago, 22 representatives voted to pass the changes. The other proposed changes including instituting a defensive 3-second rule in which defenders will be allowed to stay in the lane for only 3 seconds unless they were within arm's length of an opponent. Okay, now I'm gonna have to do a little bit more research on this, but from what I gather from this right here, okay, you can stay in the middle of the lane as long as you are you can stay in the middle of the lane for more than 3 seconds as long as you are within arm's length of your opponent in today's game. Okay, if you're a center and you got a center that you're playing and he's in the middle of the lane, you can stay in the middle of the lane for more than 3 seconds as long as you are within arm's length of that opponent. So, you know, guys can drive to the hole and that center can still be there waiting on them. But that said, okay, there is no illegal defense. Okay, so 3 seconds means that the defender, the center can be in the lane for 3 seconds. He has to get out of the lane, but he can come back into the lane for another 3 seconds, which Bruce Blitz doesn't explain. So all this stuff he's talking about, guys driving to the hole, man, that's all a bunch of propaganda. Okay, zone defenses. You can run 2 or 3 players at Kobe Bryant and then rotate back to the guy you was originally guarding, which would have been illegal defense because during the Jordan era you had to commit to the double team. Okay, you had to commit to that double team and could not rotate all the way back to your man because that would have been illegal defense back when Jordan played. So there are pros and cons to playing in today's game. Bottom line. So Bruce Blitz is this man. He's giving you a bunch of propaganda, man.